Okay, just briefly, we had a decent year last year, had a good year, wasn't a great year. We lost our last 2 games, but we did accomplish some firsts in South Carolina, be the #1 team in the country, Alabama. Won the Eastern Division first time ever, 19 years in the conference. Beat Florida in the Swamp first time ever. I guess qualified for a bowl 6 straight years. But anyway, we lost our last 2. We got a lot of good players there. Got a lot of good players, and we got a chance to do some good things, we think, this year. Got to coach better, play better, do those things. We may have a chance for a big year.
Coach, talk about what goes into your mindset when you have to assess some of the things that happened to Stephen to try to determine whether you want to give him another shot and what he has to do to make you feel he deserves it.
Well, Stephen's biggest problem, as I've said earlier, is just stupidity. He just does some stupid things. He's already graduated. He's a smart kid. We think he's a good kid that has some issues that he's trying to straighten out. And so he's done that. He's done that the last 3-4 months. And we'll have a competition for the quarterback job, though. Connor Shaw's there. I've already told both of them, you guys gonna fight it out. Stephen follows the guidelines prescribed for him. He'll be there in August, ready to battle preseason practice for the quarterback job. So we got 2 guys ready to play, and we'll see how it plays out.
So, looking back at last year, it wasn't a historic year for South Carolina. Who do you think was the best team you played with?
Arkansas. Arkansas played against us better than anybody. We caught some teams that didn't play very well, but Arkansas clocked us. They played well, offense, defense, special teams. And Coach Petrino and his guys, they had a good team last year.
What was it?
Well, they blocked and tackled. They didn't make many mistakes either. Yeah, they had a good team.
What's your biggest challenge this year, you think, with this being with the preseason hype and that so forth?
Our biggest challenge, the same thing, is every year try to maximize the talent on our team, try to coach better too. I mean, we were not good on 3rd down defense. I think we near the bottom of the conference in 3rd down defense. They should not. We should be better than that. Offensively, pass protection wise, at times we need to get better. There's a lot of things as coaches we need to do a lot better. So, but we got a lot of good players, and running back Marcus Lattimore is as good as anybody in the country. Alshon Jeffrey, best wide receiver in the country. So we got some star talent there that gives us a chance. Devin Taylor was a all-conference defensive end. Stephon Gilmore for him. And we've got a lot of team speed, a lot of good players, but we've not done anything with special teams. And since I've been there, yes, we keep hoping we're going to block a punt, score, run a kickoff back, just anything. It hasn't happened yet. We're still trying. John Butler got a new special team coach, and I think it's really going to help us. So we've got a lot of improvement to do.
What are your comments about the commissioner's proposals that he made today?
Well, he said something about multi-year scholarships. No, I think 1-year renewables are the way to go, just because if a young man signs a scholarship, decides he doesn't want to give much effort, doesn't want to go to weightlifting, how do you get rid of it? So I don't know if you got a 3-year deal. So anyway, that's we sort of like the 1-year renewables as coaches. And what was his other one about academic making it tougher? I think it's tough enough. So
2-0 to 2-5.
So I disagree about everything you said.
Steve, what kind of a spring did you think Connor had? I mean, did you see the improvement you needed to out of spring ball from him?
Yeah, Connor did a lot of good things, and he's been there all summer, throwing with the guys from over here. So we'll let him battle it out in preseason practice.
Coach, South Carolina's never really been the top dog going into a year. Have you seen a change in kind of your team's confidence going into this year?
Well, a little bit, but again, I hope we're smart enough to realize that Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee had some down years last year. They weren't quite what they always are. So that helped us. And we won the division with a 5-3 record, which normally doesn't win the division, but it did last year because we beat the right people in Georgia and Florida and Tennessee. So if we can do that, certainly that would give us a chance. But we were not any great team at all last year. We're a good team, but if we're going to hit that next level, be ready to win an SEC, we've got a long way to go.
Steve, what was tougher? Was it tougher changing the culture the way you have at South Carolina, or building what you did at Florida?
Well, when I got to Florida in 1990, the players were sitting there ready to go. They were there. I didn't recruit them. They were sitting on go. And all we had to do was just sort of tell them, you guys are pretty good, now let's go play like it. And then, of course, we found Shane Matthews, who was SEC Player of the Year in 1991. So South Carolina, it wasn't quite the talent level when we got there. What we needed to do was start recruiting. And to recruit, we had to get our facilities up to par. South Carolina was a little bit behind in facilities. And Eric Hyman, our athletic director, and we got some wealthy boosters in South Carolina. A lot of people don't believe that, but we do. And they stepped forward, and we have built almost everything in the athletic department is new. So we got facilities in place. So now we're recruiting the best players in our state. Jadavion Clowney, the #1 recruit in the nation. 5-6 years ago, no way he'd go to South Carolina because we just weren't the big time player. But now with everything in place there, he basically says, hey, I think we can win big at South Carolina. So it was really neat to get him coming to our school.
Steve, what's the situation with Vic Hampton? Is he kind of getting back in the good graces?
Yeah, he's working out with the team right now, so he's on the team.
What's the progress of the offensive line under Coach Elliott?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out when the season starts. This spring, I think they did some decent things here and there. But, we're excited about some of those freshmen, incoming guys. Matulis, Cody Gibson, was redshirt freshman. Could play a bit next year. AJ Kent has not played much. Ron Patrick. So he's got some guys to work with.
Is there one special freshman incoming from the high school end that's really says, wow, maybe he can play right off?
You ever heard of Jadavion Clowney? Yeah, Clowney's going to play. Yeah, Jadavion will be out there, some kind of defensive end, some kind of outside linebacker, some kind of inside linebacker. He'll be standing around when the ball snapped. He's going to be chasing it wherever he goes.
Coach, how do you feel about your defensive front coming in? I mean, you already have some all-SEC guys, and you're adding some good recruits as well. How do you feel about that?
Well, we think we're in pretty good shape, defensive line. Devin Taylor was all-conference player, really excellent pass rusher. He's added some weight. And Melvin Ingram, Travion Robertson inside. Kelsey Quarles is a very good player. They parade All-American. And now we got Clowney coming in to help. Phillip Dukes, another man, top recruit there in the country. So we're our talent level is by far the best since I've been there. But now we got to go play. We got to go play. And coach, we got to coach a little bit better too.
Coach, I preface this question of whether or not you may have not been present at the time. This goes back to the coaches meeting in Destin back in April when you guys were down there, and there's been a lot of talk about a back and forth between one of the peer coaches of yours from the Western Conference and a certain NCAA representative there, from the vice president to be more exact. And some of the coaches, and a lot of basketball coaches, seems like to come out behind about being taken aback about the back and forth that went on between the two. And were you present there? And what were your feelings, if you were there, about the back and forth of what they were talking about?
Back and forth between who now?
His name would be Gene Chiswick and Vice President Roloff of the NCAA.
No, that wasn't any big deal. Chiz was wondering why the investigation took so long, and she just explained that it takes a long time. And I guess Gary Dooley, I think we're in the investigation too, right? For that Dooley hometown thing. I don't know. It's not an investigation. We had some players stay at an old hotel because they had plenty of rooms there. I think they thought that was an excessive benefit. Didn't look like one. But anyway, so now they were just asking why it took so long. She was trying to explain that they'd like to take a while. Simple as that.
Don, one more question.
Coach, you mentioned Marcus Lattimore earlier, your years of coaching. Who would you most compare him to that you've seen before?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know who exactly I compare Marcus. I know I've never had a back that can break more tackles than he does. We went back after the Georgia game, and I asked our running back, Coach Jay Graham, I said, would you go back and see how many tackles he broke? He came back and he said 42, and 37 carries. Sometimes you go 3 or 4 or some. So it was an amazing day, and then he continued on throughout the season. So I know Georgia's going to have a bunch of guys waiting to tackle him this year. But he just has the knack of shedding tackles, breaking tackles as well as anybody I've ever been around. His speed's good. He's not a 4-3 guy or anything like that, 4-4 guy. But coming out of the backfield, he's very good. He catches the ball. He's got little wiggles like a wide receiver, and so he's reminds me a little bit of Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk back there, probably a little heavier than Marshall.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.